What's up, guys? My name's Andres. This is the VC Brewery Show. Thanks for coming back. On this episode, we have Sean Smith from Institution Ale Company in Camarillo, California. One of the breweries I go to because it's on my way home. It's a good brewery. It's convenient for me to pick up here. Anyway, he tells a story, how they came up with the name, what they're currently doing, how they're coming out of the pandemic lockdown, and how business is in general. So enjoy the show. All right. Sean Smith, Institution Ale Company, Camarillo, California, and also Santa Barbara. Thanks for making time for me today. We have our RX Pills, my go-to beer when I pick up to go on the way home from work. As someone who's familiar with the area, was the name of the brewery a slam dunk for you guys? Is there some history behind that?
Yeah, a little history. As people who grew up around the area know, we were, at least Camarillo was famous at one point for the Camarillo State Mental Hospital.
Yeah.
So that's what inspired the name, and yeah, we opened, in 2013, and we were thinking of, something that would kind of, make people remember us and kind of maybe draw some old memories of what Camarillo used to kind of be known for before.
Right.
So yeah.
My uncle used to work at that hospital. He moved up to a Atascadero to go when they closed it down. So
okay, right on.
So I'm familiar with it, and you use a lot of that same history in naming some of your beers, right?
Yeah, totally. We like to play off the name a little bit. So over here we have some old photographs of the hospital, and then we try to work in a beer name or two whenever we can, and kind of plays off the whole,
right. Yeah. So you have 4 beers that are always on tap. Were those? I assume you come from home brewing at some point. Were those beers that you brewed then, or something you made especially when you started the brewery?
Yeah, a little bit of both. When we kind of decided to take that step and put plans together to start a commercial brewery, we started thinking of some core beers that we want to have on the lineup. So some of them were beers we've already had success with home brewing, or just maybe a style gap that we wanted to fill. So we wanted to mess around with stuff. And when we opened up with 4 beers, and those were just the 4 core beers. We had Sedation, which is like a session red, which we don't really brew too often anymore. We had our brown ale, pale ale, and an IPA.
Yeah.
So 3 of those 4 we still brew.
Yeah.
Pretty regularly. They're still 3 of our best-selling beers.
Right.
And then every year or two, we seem to drop a core beer, add a new one. So now we're up to 5 or 6 beers that we distribute, brew all the time, and then other than those beers, it's just a lot of like seasonals and limited releases.
I say you guys rotate your board pretty good around here.
Yeah, we try to. We don't have really too many restrictions as far as we've got small tanks here, which is nice. So we could brew small batch stuff and keep a lot of beers fresh. We could have 20 beers on tap, and all of them brewed within the last month or so. And then with distribution, there's a handful of beers, but it's not like our bread and butter. So most of our beers still sold through our tap room, so it allows us to keep coming up with new recipes and new limited releases, and giving customers who come to our tap rooms a lot of variety.
Right, but at least the distribution gets your name out there, brings people to the brewery.
Oh, totally. Yeah, distribution. We do cans now. For a while it was just draft, but that is nice to just kind of keep things flowing, keep production flowing, and we do, like I said, most of our core beers. So IPA, Institution IPA, and White Walls are 2 more popular distro beers, and then our Pale Ale, Mosaic. So those are kind of like the 3 most brewed beers here.
And I see those at a lot of restaurants I go to also.
Yeah.
A lot of handles out there with you guys on it.
Yeah. Our sales rep and our distribution team and our distributor have done really good work over the last 4 or 5 years trying to build that up. So you'll see those 3 handles in particular quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Your can art, I would say my kids like to fight over the can art and peel them off and they put them in their sticker book.
Right on.
My daughter seems to look for the more anime-ish kind of ones, right? So you think that's important to keep it lively and fun like that?
Yeah, totally. I think that with the amount of beers getting canned right now, and
Yeah.
the amount of creativity we can do with our sticker labels because they are smaller run.
Yeah.
It gives us a lot of flexibility to just can, 1,000 or 2,000 beers at a time, which
Yeah.
is relatively really, really small. And,
Right.
our designer and our graphic artist, who was a former bartender of ours, turned like designer full time.
Yeah.
He has a lot of fun with just coming up with kind of like new chirpy elements. So
Yep.
we'll come up with a beer name in the brewery. We'll
Yeah.
throw him the beer name and say, put some art to this.
Yeah.
And then, 3 or 4 weeks later, we'll have a finished can label of, something new. And,
Yeah.
he probably cranks out like 20 or 30 of those a year.
All right. I would say I'm more boring. I enjoyed your emergency can release labels.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought those were pretty cool.
Yeah.
I made sure I did my part and came a little bit extra during the lockdown to get some of those.
Right on.
But they fight over those all the time.
Awesome.
Santa Barbara opened up how many years ago now?
About 2.5 years ago.
And was that just you wanted to get more reach? Did you see a void that you wanted to fill in that area?
Yeah, with the brewery space we have here and the amount of beer we're able to make, we knew that we could make some more beer and it had to go somewhere. And we just really like just kind of expand the niche further. Just out of like tap rooms, and the tap rooms do so well. And then as far as just finding a location, we kind of just wanted to go up towards the Central Coast. So my brother and I went to school at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. We really love the area. We also really, of course, love Santa Barbara. And so it was just kind of like finding a spot that worked. And we settled on Santa Barbara because it was close enough to where we could go up there and manage it and not be like absentee owners where it's too far to check in.
Yeah.
But it's also far enough away to where there's a good amount of people who live up there who just can't make the trek to Camarillo very often.
Right.
And that's, where at least a lot of our beers are and a lot of our specialty beers. So it was kind of a nice, I guess, give and take as far enough away to where our customers would appreciate it up there, and then also close enough to where we could check in on a daily basis.
And it's a fun, area, right? Destination location.
Yeah, totally. I mean, here, obviously like industrial, kind of like hometown brewery for Camarillo. When we first opened up, we were just off on Pleasant Valley Road, which was even like more of an industrial hole in the wall. And when the opportunity for Santa Barbara came up, it was just something completely different. You know, foot traffic, State Street, kind of like a high visibility spot.
Yeah.
Which was a little different than what we were used to, but we kind of like fell in love with the building, and we kind of just envisioned like how the bar would be set up there and like how we'd run stuff there. And we really like how it turned out, and it's kind of like a yin to yang. There's no brewing equipment there, but it's just kind of big, lively, kind of like bar scene there. Where here is, we're making the beer, and it's more tucked away.
Right. I would say this is still more of a local spot for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people from work I know that live in the area that this is their place where they come on the way home from work. Also, right? So
yeah, totally.
So yeah, it's a good yin and yang, like you said.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we get people kind of coming from all over on the weekends here, but definitely like on the weekdays, it's like, just like your watering hole after work beer spot. And then Santa Barbara, there's obviously a lot of tourists who go up there, a lot of locals too, but I mean, especially up and down State Street. Yeah. It's a lot of out-of-towners and stuff, so it's also cool to be like, hey, there's a local brewery here, check us out. And, unless they've come from Ventura County or maybe LA, they probably haven't heard of us, so it's kind of cool to bring people in and tell our story.
Yeah. All right. We just got, this past year has been a trip for everybody. How did you guys come out of it? Anything you're going to keep, like your outdoor seating, are they going to allow you to keep that? Or are you going to make some changes, I guess, to make yourself more sustainable in the future? Or?
Right. I think overall, I can't speak for the other brewers, but for us, I felt like we were dealt a pretty good hand, all things considered, just because we were able to pivot to, cans and distribution. So, we weren't super distribution dependent before. We sold most of our volume through our tap rooms, and then the distribution we did do was almost all through the taps at bars and restaurants. And so when all the bars and restaurants closed down and then we couldn't let customers in, we kind of had nowhere for our beer to go, but we hadn't been working that sales channel through cans.
Right.
So we kind of just flipped a switch. That was part of the emergency can release. Yeah. And then we got our sales reps and started pushing everybody just to try to get our cans into more retail stores.
Right.
So, you know, your liquor stores, your specialty craft stores, and your bigger chains like Trader Joe's and stuff.
Right.
So, you know, there's some logistical headaches that go to kind of like pivoting on a dime like that.
Right.
But at least we had an option to do that.
Yeah.
You know, where if you're a traditional restaurant, you know, you might not have that kind of outside sales channel.
For
so
sure.
We were fortunate for that. I know a lot of brewers kind of did a similar thing. And then in Camarillo, because we kind of have that like hometown feel, we saw like a ton of support of people just coming and getting beer to go when, you know, they'd normally be sitting at the bar. So we were selling 4-packs like crazy. A lot of people were getting pizza to go.
Right.
We even delivered pizza for a little while.
Right.
So kind of combination of all those different kind of new things. All worked out really well. Anything by expanding out into the parking lot. So that's been great, and we'll try to keep that. Try to keep some of the outdoor dining in Santa Barbara. So there's definitely some cool things that weren't even an option before that are now available post-pandemic. So
cool. It's a working tap room right now. We're working brewery. We have people going doing their stuff behind us. How long has your crew been with you? A bunch of new people, veterans. What are they?
Pretty veteran crew. Joe on the brew deck right now has been our first employee, so he's been with us since 2013.
All right.
We have one other brewer who's been with us since before this location. His name's Todd. He's been with us probably for 2015 or so. Those are the two guys on the brew deck, along with my brother, who's our brewmaster and runs all the production stuff. And then, 2 or 3 other people, and most of them have been here for 2 or 3 years. So we're lucky that we don't have a lot of, turnover in the brewery, which is good.
Yeah.
Actually, we have Stevie on cellar right now. She's our newest addition. She was in our tap room as a bartender.
All right.
She's in her second week.
Wow.
So that's like a brand new addition. But other than that, we probably hadn't hired anyone in the brewery for like 2.5 years. So.
Yeah. So she's doing a lot of cleaning right now.
Yeah.
A lot of shoveling, a lot of.
You've been to a lot of breweries. That's how it works. Cleaning out the mash tun right now, spraying stuff down.
Yeah.
Flipping kegs, cleaning kegs.
Right.
That's kind of like the, cellar work 101 is just like learning how to clean everything and kind of getting your feet wet.
Yeah, I'm sure. Anything exciting? Any plans? What do you envision institution 5 years from now?
Man, hopefully a lot of the same. We're not trying to make any huge changes or pick new locations or anything. This brewery's pretty much at max capacity, which is nice.
Yeah.
And we pretty much are filling tanks as soon as they open up. And it's a relatively small operation. We can't really make more than 8,000 barrels a year here.
All right.
And we're not looking to really change that so much.
Yeah.
So a lot of the same. Just come out with new fun beers. We're always tweaking recipes, always trying to just make the original beers and the core beers better.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what drives us. It's not so much like a passion for like experimentation.
Yeah.
And the weirdest ingredients and the newest beer styles for us.
All right,
It's a lot of just taking those classic styles we love and trying to perfect them on our brew house.
Right.
And kind of how we could evolve the styles as styles kind of evolve, but also just kind of like stay true to ourselves and really dial in what we like to do, which is making American style coffee beers.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, just kind of minor stuff. I know we want to try to get this patio more permanent, like you talked about, kind of COVID patio we have going. We want to work on that and make that more of like a permanent fixture that we could dump some resources in and make it a really cool spot.
Right. I think that our area in general is set up for that, right?
Yeah.
Just, Camarillo, Oxnard, Ventura, this whole area the weather's great for outside seating.
Totally, right. I mean, you could use that patio every day of the week, and the weather's great. And, right now it's great that we have it, but it's, plastic tables on asphalt and,
But I think right now, people get what they can take what they can get, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally, yeah. We roll with it, and obviously if it's going to be here today, gone tomorrow, you don't want to try to make it too perfect and too expensive, but really try to make it capacity do that as kind of like our mini project here in Camarillo, and then we have something similar going on in Santa Barbara where adjacent to the State Street tap room is a lot that we took over, and we've transformed that into a beer garden.
All right.
This is kind of separate from the outdoor COVID dining. This is just a whole separate kind of property next door.
Okay.
And we've been working on that for almost 2 years now. It took a pause for a while when everything was shut down, but we fired that back up about a year ago, and we should have that open in July. So we're really close to opening that beer garden up. So that's kind of our right in front of us project we're working on.
Just in time for tourists.
Yeah, exactly. We would have loved to try to like get it open right when the state opened back up and summer kind of started, but you know how things go with construction. We're a little behind schedule, but I think we'll open up in a week or two, which will be sweet. Yeah. And then it'll just be another big like outdoor space people can hang out on State Street.
For sure. What's your go-to beer here?
It's a good question. I usually like to drink our pale ales. So we have like a summer session IPA on right now, which is maybe like my favorite beer right now, just because it's a new recipe.
Right.
As far as beers that we usually have on tap, I like RX for easy drinking beers, and then one of our newer pale ales. We brew it pretty regularly, but it came out only like a year and a half, 2 years ago, called Somewhere Golden. It's a Mosaic pale ale, and that's probably like my favorite hoppy beer that we have on.
All right, cool. Anything else you want to say? Parting words? Come drink beer.
Come drink beer. Everyone who already is, thanks for the support. And thanks for taking time to talk with me and show off the brewery and everything.
Yeah, man. Cool. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, of course, man.
That was Sean Smith from Institution Ale Company, Camarillo, California. If there's somebody that hasn't been on my show that you want to see interviewed, hear their story, that's here in Ventura County, drop me a line or comment, tag them in wherever you're watching this video. Anyway, so some way so I can contact them and schedule them for an interview. Please like and subscribe and share. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.